Officer Sheriff, I want to ask you a question about, or a couple of questions about something called a dispatch log. You know what a dispatch log is?
Yes.
What is a dispatch log? Can you describe it to the jurors?
Just notes saying what time calls come in, and sometimes a short synopsis of what happened on the call.
It's an official document generated by the Canton Police Department, correct?
That's correct.
And it's kept in the ordinary course of business?
Yes.
It's created at or near the time of the event that it's recording?
Yes.
And it's supposed to be accurate?
Yes.
Is that yes?
Yes. No, sir.
And in fact, what it has is the dispatch details of the event that's in question. Whatever officers show up, what time they show up, the order in which they show up, the location to which they're dispatched, things of that nature, correct?
Yes.
Have you looked at the dispatch log in this case?
No, I have not. Yep.
So all three of you, according to the official document generated by Canton Police Department with this event, has Officer Mullaney arriving first, you arriving second, Sergeant Good arriving third, all within 7 seconds of each other, correct?
Correct.
That's what it says. Oh dear, that's wrong.
Your dispatch, your dash cam, correct? And clearly, we saw it yesterday. You arrive and there's nobody else on scene.
Correct.
That was at about 6:10 a.m. that you arrived, correct?
About that, yes.
And then Officer Mullaney actually arrives after you about 6:11 a.m. Is that right?
Yes.
And Sergeant Good does not arrive, according to your own dash cam, until about 6:16. A little after quarter after.
Yep.
All right. So
there's a discrepancy between the log, which shows them all arriving within 7 seconds of each other, and reality based on the dash camera, which shows a separation of several minutes. So yeah, you have a discrepancy in your official police record. That's the thing. Well, why is that going on? I mean, you could understand some discrepancy, to be sure, because it's going to be an issue of, the recording of those things. So there might be some discrepancy between the two, versus the video. So as the person who's recording it at dispatch is recording it, they're not necessarily recording it exactly when it happens, because it depends on what's happening to them or what's being reported to them and what order, and also what else they're dealing with. But you could understand some discrepancy, but it says 7 seconds, and in reality, it's more like 7 minutes. That's a lot of discrepancy, man. We're not talking about just a couple seconds here or there. We're talking about some fairly major time. So, yeah, what's up with that? Yeah.
Other than order and the time that the officer's responding, is it correct in all other respects in your mind?
Can you rephrase? Should say it one more time.
Let's take away the order and the time that the officers responded. Ignore that. Mm-hmm. Is the dispatch log otherwise accurate?
Yes.
Oh, really? It's accurate, except for the time and except for the order. I wonder if it has any inaccuracies other than the time and the order. Are there any other inaccuracies in this document that you just testified to does not have any other inaccuracies? I wonder if there might be. Let's find out.
Take a look at the left-hand column where it's highlighted in green. What's that address?
Highlighting with green?
On the screen, it's highlighted.
Sorry. Let me see.
I don't have the document.
That's okay. It says 32 Fairview.
Did you arrive to 32 Fairview Road?
No.
You arrived to 34 Fairview,
That's correct. Yep.
So that even the location on the dispatch log is faulty. Is that right?
Oh, the record. That's also wrong.
May I approach you?
Yes.
Another little oopsies. The address is wrong. Is anything on the thing correct?
Officer Sheriff, I've done you the favor of highlighting a page on page 9. Where did you indicate to the grand jurors that you actually arrived?
It says 35 Fairview.
I know what it says. I'm asking if it refreshes your recollection that you actually testified under oath that you responded to 35 Fairview.
Yes.
And that is incorrect as well, isn't it?
So you might have told a little bit of a slight misstatement to the grand jury as well. So the accuracy ratio isn't going great over here. The times are wrong by a factor of 60, because instead of 7 seconds, 7 minutes, and since there's 60 seconds to a minute, That's a factor of 60. So, because for every second, you're off by a minute. So, yeah, you're off by a factor of 60 on your log. The order is wrong. The address is wrong. And now we have you testifying, let's say, inconsistently with reality to the grand jury. This isn't going really well so far. This is less than ideal, people.
And of course, we just talked about the fact that the dispatch log lists 32 Fairview Road and not 34 Fairview Road, correct?
Correct.
So none of the initial police reports, not the dispatch log, not your police report, apparently not Sergeant Goods, list 34 Fairview Road as the actual location where you responded that morning, correct?
As far as I know, yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Was there an effort on your part or anybody else's, to your knowledge, to mask the actual address of Brian Albert's house as 34 Fairview Road?
No.
All those are just mistakes.
Yes.
That's a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
So that's a lot of mistakes.
That's Trooper Proctor's report of an interview that he did with you, correct?
Yes.
And if you look on the second page, paragraph about what you stated to Trooper Proctor.
That's highlighted? Is it?
Is that highlighted for you?
Yes.
Did you tell Trooper Proctor, let me withdraw that, ask it a different way. Were you trying to be as thorough and comprehensive with Trooper Proctor as you were in your own report?
Yes.
You weren't holding anything back in that interview, correct?
No.
You wanted to be as truthful and as honest as you possibly could?
Yep.
And as comprehensive as you possibly could, correct?
Yes.
You told Trooper Proctor that you could, quote, hear Karen Reed continually state, "Is he dead?" as the paramedics treated the victim. Officer Seraph then seen Karen inside her friend's vehicle, correct?
Correct.
So the only statement you attributed to my client the day after this incident was those three words, "Is he dead?" that she continually repeated. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you. In the two times that you were asked to reflect back on exactly what happened that morning, on January 29th and January 30th, both times you attributed only three words to my client having been repeated continually in her distraught state. "Is he dead?" Right?
Yes.
She wasn't saying that?
Is he dead?
Assuming. Matter of fact, you used the word she was severely distraught. Is that right?
That's correct.
When you say severely distraught, we saw part of that on your dash cam. She was emotional,
Yes.
upset,
Yes.
focused on John,
Yes.
trying to save his life,
Yes.
and asking, what was the question that she asked?
Is he dead?
Over and over and over. Correct?
Is he dead? Is he dead was what was being asked over and over and over again, according to your report.
Testify. You remember what you testified to at the grand jury in April of 2022?
The whole thing?
No. Sorry. That was a bad question on my part. Just as it relates to statements attributed to my client.
Yes.
What was your exact testimony in April of 2022?
I'd have to look at my.
Would it refresh your recollection if you saw a copy of your
Sure.
grand jury transcript? There.
Yes.
Look, page 18. Let me know once you remember it. Once you review that and tell me if that refreshes your recollection.
Yes, it does.
In fact, on April 14th, 2022, months after this event, for the first time, you said, quote, and these are your words, tell me if I get them right. She, this is my fault. I don't know. She said, I can't believe this happened. I mean, she kept asking if he was going to die, if he's dead. And, I just basically said, we're doing the best that we could, end quote.
That's correct.
Matt Birch.
Yes.
It's a little bit different than you testified to or wrote in your original report now, isn't it? A little bit more details there than you wrote in your original report. Suspicious.
2022, for the first time, you attributed the phrase, "This is my fault. I can't believe this happened," to my client, correct?
That's correct.
But nowhere in your official report did you say that, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah,
Nowhere in your interview to Proctor the next day did you say that.
That's correct.
that's amazing.
Pretty important omission on your part.
I would think so. Yeah, an oversight. Wow, very exciting.
That a woman.
Oh, that's one hell of an oversight. You know, basically the day of the incident, you report, is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? And, you know, when you talk to Proctor, that's basically what you said. And then fast forward to the grand jury, and suddenly she's saying all kinds of interesting comments. Whereas you had said in the report, all she could say was these three words over and over and over again. And now suddenly she's saying a whole monologue where she's just spilling out the plots in detail. I'm surprised it wasn't an iambic pentameter, the way that you were telling the story. It's amazing. When you wrote the report initially, none of those details. And oh, it's an oversight, just a little oversight. I'm questioning these reports, man. I'm questioning the reports. Our dispatch logs has questions. Our initial logs have questions. Our testimony later seems a bit inconsistent. Things seem problematic, man. I don't know, man. Things seem sus. I'm saying it's sus. That's what I'm talking about.
But you made contact with, standing over the body of a fallen police officer, said to you, "This is my fault." Just missed that.
That would have been important, I would think.
Yes. Yes. I missed
Oh, you just missed it. Oh, okay. That's something that makes sense. Sure. Uh-huh.
Of course, yesterday you said, my client said, quote, "It's all my fault. I did this." End quote.
That's a little bit different.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's a little bit different.
Grand jury.
You didn't say it to the grand jury.
Say that to Trooper Proctor.
You didn't say it to Proctor, huh?
And you didn't put it in your report.
Didn't put in your report. Okay, yeah. Some problems there. This police officer seems to be changing his story quite a lot. It's every time he tells the story, it's different quotes. First, she's just saying, "Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead?" Then she's going on a monologue, or is it technically a soliloquy? I guess it's technically a soliloquy since she's responding. She's expressing her internal thoughts. So I suppose technically it's a soliloquy. She's going on a soliloquy to express her internal thoughts, and then she's like, "Yeah, I did it. It was me." And all these times it's like, oh, it's a different story every time. Interesting and fun, exciting, good times.
If you were to testify in another 2 or 3 weeks,
Yeah,
Objection.
Sustained.
I like that question. Even though it's improper, I like that. It's spicy, but it's good. It's fun. Well, that was certainly special. A lot of inconsistencies in this report, man. So we have the initial report, the initial dispatch logs, those are wrong. And then we also have the initial report, his initial write-up, basically in the immediate aftermath, which is apparently different. Then we have the discussion with Proctor, which is different. Then we have the discussion with the grand jury, which is different. Then we have this other statement, which is different. And then finally, we finish with the dash cam video, which is different again. How many different versions of this thing are there, man? It's a lot, man. A lot of inconsistencies, a lot of problems. And the police seem to be changing it. Changing every time the police change it, they make her more and more guilty. I can't help noticing. That seems to be a thing. And putting words in her mouth that just basically, yes, it was me. I did the thing. I did it purposefully. Ha 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 ha. So, yeah. Well, that'll be the end of that for now. What a train wreck this thing is. Lol.